Welcome back to Fishing with Vance. Well, a lot of guys have been asking about my tackle organization in the old garage here. Believe me, this thing has been a work in progress over time. So today I'm going to go over how I organize my tackle. It's changed, like I said, several times it's changed over the years. This is what I've sort of landed on now. So let me start back here in this corner because this is really a mess, but it's getting better. Maybe this year I'll attack this as well. Let me start by how I keep my motors. I have my Honda motor and one of the Minn Kotas, and built this little handy stand here, and this thing has worked out great. I can't take credit for the design. I got it off of Mark from Below Wright's Fishing, and I think Bass Brothers both had a version of it. Mine ended up being something similar, but it has been very valuable in easily to move this thing around when you have limited space. Just as casters on the bottom. If you want to see how to build this, I'd recommend like I said, either Below Wright's or Bass Brothers. That's where I got the idea. It's a pretty simple, straightforward build, but it is effective. Holds this motor, holds my trailer, gets it out of the way. Alright, so back here to this rat's nest. As you can see, I'm sure like most of us, we all have these tackle boxes, which they're great. Some of them are ancient and some of them they serve the purpose, but when you have a small boat like this, these really aren't practical to go out there. I mean, I ended up, when I go fishing, I usually take this bag. For those of you new to the channel, I think I did a video one day on how I organize my bag. Check that out. But I pretty much keep it as lean as possible, even though I end up taking more than what I need. But anyway, this is what ends up getting taken to the lake because it's a little lighter and smaller. So these big gigantic boxes are probably more, they're more designed for guys that have full-size bass boats. So they tend to be storage lockers for me. And what I found was I wasn't using half the tackle that was in there. Once the season started, I would, I already tend to use the same thing over and over again. So I thought, okay, if I'm ever going to start using other things, I need to get this stuff up on the wall. So I went through, and there's still some stuff that's in there, although anything that's still in these bags at this point has pretty small chance of making it to the lake. Anyway, so I have 3 sets of pegboard. Let's talk about tackle first. 3 sets of pegboard. These tend to be back here. These are all more crankbaits, hard baits, spinner baits, that kind of thing. Then I have these other 2 walls. So let's start back here. So basically, I have all my tackle organized by square bills, by size, 1.5, 2.5. There's my spinner baits over here that I've been starting to throw a lot more of, and actually getting better with those. I got to keep throwing those because those work, and I just need to keep throwing them. It's the only way I'm going to get better with them. And then I have way too many lipless because the old catter, every time we go to Bass Pro, he picks up more than we need. So we end up having a bunch of those. It's one of those things where we had success with them. We bought a bunch, and then you end up stop throwing them. But I'll throw them again. So there's my lipless square bills, and then there's my shad wraps. This bait has just kind of taken over everything, catches everything. When I start throwing movement like this or hard baits, this tends to find its way on. If I'm going for something smaller, I have this size 4 and also the size 5. These things just catch everything. I've caught everything on this, from trout to walleye to bass to you name it. It gets it all. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. The rest of this stuff, or leftover reels, whatever, just pretty much catch all of junk. Up there also, leftover boxes and leftover junk. So I go through it once a year just to see what I have. Maybe some things come out and get tried. If I see other people, other channels I like to watch, if they're catching them on something, I like to try things, and more than likely I have it in there. All right, so then moving on to this wall. This is those of you guys that follow the channel know I refer to these walls. This one here is the JV wall, because it's not stuff I use on an everyday basis. And that guy over there, which I'll get to in a minute, way over there, that's the varsity wall. So let's start with the JV wall, come around this side. So again, this is just pegboard. And then I'll show you these hooks that I bought. I got them on Amazon. They work real well. I don't have any video links or anything like that. I don't do that anymore. But if somebody wants to know where I got those hooks, just leave me a comment. I'll shoot you the link. But this is the JV wall, and what this is just tends to be baits that I use, occasionally, but not, everyday go-to, and maybe some stuff that needs to get tried, and I just have gotten stuck on my ways and haven't tried some of these things. Now, that culprit ribbon worm was a big hit last year, and obviously so was the yum, the bug, or rage bug, whatever you want to call it. That creature bait ended up taking over the season last year, if you follow the channel. And then I have so many Senkos of different colors. I tend to throw red shad laminate, but every once in a while I'll try different colors. And then all these hoochie coochies. My old partner used to love those things, and so I still have a bunch of those left over. Every once in a while I'll grab something off this wall, but this is, like I said, and so a lot of different color tubes up there. And so this is considered the JV wall, but something came off the JV wall, like I said, the beaver bait last year, and ended up jumping onto the varsity wall. So moving on to the varsity wall, and I just refer to stuff as varsity and JV from 40 years ago when I was a basketball player. But anyway, so this is the varsity wall, and this tends to be my go-to stuff. Those of you guys that follow the channel know that I'm big on the KVD perfect plastics, both the bigger ones and the small. I like the 6.5 when I'm at the swamp. This is one of my favorites, actually, a magic crawler. And I like it like this because I can always take a quick inventory at the end of the season. So I can see, okay, I'm running low on whatever. I've already done it for this year. If I'm down to maybe one bag of something, then I'll just order a couple more. So, and yeah, there's the example of what moved over to varsity. This is this woolly bug, this whole thing, this type of bait got to move on to the varsity wall because it's just killed for me last year. I can't wait to throw it again this year. And then there, like I said, there's the Senko. There's the only Senko that's over here, because I'm throwing a Senko 9 times out of 10. I'm throwing this red shad laminate. I don't know why. For me, it works all the time. So then these are the flukes that I tend to use. I don't really stray that far. I use this same type of fluke, just different colors, whether it be albino ice or baby bass. And of course there's my tubes. I'm a big tube guy for bass, especially in the spring. If you're new to the channel, check out the mustard tube. The mustard tube, just for whatever reason, it just can't be stopped in the spring in the clear water. I've caught so many fish on it. It's crazy. So I always have a good pack full of mustard tubes. Never can have too many of those. And then my double tail jigs over here. Last year, this peanut butter and jelly twin tail, Fat Albert from Zoom, the twin tail, this kicked butt, and I actually look like I need to order some more of those because I only have 2 left. So I'll get some more of that color, because that color caught fish everywhere I fished this year, every lake. And I have my black, his standard, and all the other colors in between. As far as hooks, these are all the ones that I tend to use. I organize them by size, 11s, 9s, 10s. I tend to use this 3 set right here. But as I started using that bug, I keep calling it the bug, whatever you want to call it, the yum beaver bait or whatever, the woolly bug. I've started to get back into some of the bigger size of 3/0 hooks, the 584 13s. So I'll be using that a little bit more this year as I target the bigger fish at the swamp. And then, the circle hooks, things like that, for if I'm going rig things wacky. So there's where I keep all my hooks, and then some tube jigs down here. Last year I really used this stupid tube from Secret Lures. I never did that before till last year, and I really liked it. It definitely, I didn't feel like I missed many fish, but I definitely hung up the tube way less often. So I'll definitely throw that again this year around the rocks and also at the swamp. Now sometimes if it's just, it's all out time and it's no time to mess around. Sometimes at my one lake, they're just hammering that mustard tube all day. I don't even play with this. I go with the open hook. My Arkies. Here they are, right here. So, all right. So that's how I pretty much have my tackle on the wall. Now, when I go to the lake, I have everything in this bag ready to go. I already went over that last year, but check out that short. Check it out. I did a short on that. And I'll show you how I organize the stuff. Now, that does rotate sometimes. If I know I'm going somewhere like the swamp, a really heavy, weedy lake, and I know, okay, I'm pretty going to throw like 2-3 things, I'll take stuff out of the bag just to make it a little lighter and leave it on the workbench for that trip and put it back in and go from there. Moving on, let's go to the fishing rod section. So I actually got some new reels for Christmas from my kids. So those are already on the rods, and the ones that are broken are already gone. So moving from left to right, if you start here, I keep all my ultralights. Use those for trout. Every once in a while, I'll take them bass fishing. It's fun, especially if I'm going to be targeting smaller bass. Matter of fact, this year I might do a ultralight challenge and take these ultralights to the swamp and try to land some of those big 4 or 5 pounder boys with the ultralight. That'll be fun. And then moving down this way, it starts to get these are my catfish rods. I did get some new catfish rods last year, but honestly, I don't think I caught any catfish last year. I just never took the time to target them. My timing was off. Every time I went, I really just got skunked. So bad year catfishing for me. It's something I definitely have, as they used to say in my corporate life, a development opportunity is to be a better cat fisherman. It's just something I need to put the time and effort into and not be so darn lazy. All right, so then moving on, then we start getting into my bass rods. I have to say, I don't really like these rod holders. I am looking for something different. And it's just because, when you load them all up, the reels all hit, and sometimes they can be a challenge getting them in and out of there. I've got them in here now, fine, but anyway, these are my lighter ones. These are my medium light rods for my flukes and jerkbait, whatever, Fenwick Eagle, and then my heavier sticks for bass are over here. I do have a lot of these Veritas, although, like I said many times, I don't know that I would buy more Veritas the next time. Having issues with the guides, and I do fish quite a bit during the year, and they're holding up okay, but I wouldn't replace Veritas with Veritas. Not necessarily anything horrible. They're doing the job, but I'd probably shift back towards probably Shimano. I like those, and I should say I like Fenwick. All my Fenwick Eagles are great, and my son has a lot of Fenwick rods, and he loves them, so I'll probably go back to Fenwick at some point. But there's where I keep those, and then moving on down to here, more crankbait, a few jigs, again more bass rods, and then down here, my passion, even though I'm not that great at it, but I love it, is the carp rods. And here's my new ones I just got, and I shit canned the Cast King ones that I had to put rubber bands on because they broke. Just did a review on that, and no, I didn't contact Cast King. Somebody asked me, did I contact Cast King? No, I didn't. I just threw them in a trash can. So anyway, so these are Akumas. They match this one, so I'm all set on the Kumas. I got one Cast King hanging in there. I'm sure it'll break this year if I had to put any good money on it. But those are my carp rods. I love carp fishing. I wish I could was better at it. Just keep on doing it. It's fun, and something I'll definitely be able to do for the rest of my fishing days. This year, I definitely am going to do it. I've been talking about it forever. My goal this year is to catch a carp off this Pelican. I've never done it, and I think I'm actually going to build a more specific rod holders for carp fishing. They're going to go out the front here. I've seen some other videos and have some ideas of my own, and I want to actually have an apparatus that is specifically set up to carp fish. So stay tuned for that. The Pelican here, she ends up being kind of a, I don't want to say a catch-all, but does have some storage. I have an old my trolling motor on it, and it ends up being a little bit of a catch-all here in the off season. So there you have it. There's the tackle organization in Fishing with Vance's garage. That's it. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want to know what kind of hooks I use, I'll tell you where I got them. They work great, and I got short ones and long ones, and they do stay in the pegboard very well. They don't pull out. That's why I didn't like the metal ones. They would constantly fall off every time I was pulling the bag off. So I don't know. That's how it is so far. I might change it again, but that's it. Hope this video helped you. I hope you like it. Maybe gave a few ideas for how to organize your stuff. And if you have any questions or comments, let me know. I'll see you on the next one on Fishing with Vance. If you like this video, check out the playlist of all my other videos for catching bass off the Pelican, trout, and also really have gotten into carp fishing lately. In the off season here, I do a lot of product reviews on the Pelican, fishing rods and reels, and then obviously lots of Pelican boat mod videos. So check those out. We have playlists for that. Hit subscribe, hit like, and comment. Thanks for watching.